If you know anything about Apple, you'll know that the portless iPhone rumor is not the only thing on the table. As yes, some confusing leaks hint to an iPhone with a USB-C port that might still happen. It looks like the Moto RAZR successor will get a larger display after all, and Apple might be bundling their services into one to give us something like Amazon Prime, I guess. I'm Jaime Rivera, and please tell me that there's something funny in the internet right now to laugh about, because 2020 is getting really close to the zombie apocalypse at this rate. This is Pocketnow Daily, sponsored by MediaTek. Stick around to learn why you should pick MediaTek for your next purchase. The official news today begin with deals, and they're a little compelling, though you gotta realize what timing it is right now for you to make the educated decision over what you want to buy and what you don't. I'll give you an example. We have some new deals on the Pixels. For example, Pixel 4 is currently $154 off, leaving it at $645 for the 64 gig variant. The Pixel 4 XL is also $81 in discount, which leaves it at $818 shipped. But I don't know if you should hurry. Think about the fact that these phones have been very heavily discounted couple of weeks prior, which means that'll probably happen again. But still, if you want a Pixel, that's the option. Moving on, the Apple Watch Series 3 is currently $20 off from its usual price, leaving it at $179 shipped for the 38mm GPS variant. If you want an Android tablet, for some reason, the Lenovo Tab P10 is currently $100 off, leaving it at $200 shipped. I do think that Google should actually pay people to buy Android tablets, but still, there are deals on Sony TVs and other products in the links in the description. Now, does anybody remember HTC? Because there's no way I can forget this company. Pretty much the modern smartphone wasn't invented by Apple, guys. HTC had a lot to do with it. The problem is, we know what happened, and well, the company has a new CEO, and the whole idea was that the company was going to go back to its roots, and we were going to finally get that flagship company that we remember and love. Well, an HTC Desire 20 Pro just popped up on Google Play support, and well, let's look into the specs. Apparently it'll bring a Snapdragon 665 SoC, 6GB of RAM, and it'll run Android 10 out of the box. Wow. We actually have schematics of the design of this phone from back in April, and now we have certification from the NCC, so we should see it anytime soon. Problem is, dear HTC's new CEO, what's the point about standing on record and telling people you're gonna go back to your roots if you're actually not? Or you wanna go back to those roots that actually didn't work for you? We'll see how that goes. We can't deny that probably one of the most popular phones that Google has ever made is the Google Chromecast, particularly because it's very inexpensive and it gives you the option to be able to stream whatever it is that you're watching on your phone or tablet to your TV. Problem is, it hasn't really received the major update in a long time, and then we got Android TV separately. Now apparently that's going to change. Yesterday we got some images of Google's new dongle for Android TV, which is codenamed Sabrina. Our friends over at XDA Developers now have recovered videos that show the device and its user interface. The device will apparently be announced along with the Pixel 4a, and it will allow you to cast from your devices and control it with a separate remote that also allows you to have voice controls. It's not exactly a Chromecast, and it will work more like an Apple TV, where it has its separate user interface that you can control from the remote without the need to cast anything from your phone. It will also bring features for smart speakers, like letting you answer your door from it and ask for different questions. So yeah, pretty much Android TV now available on a dongle. I think it's a good idea. I mean, a lot of people don't want to buy a smart TV for many reasons. I'm not saying they're bad, I like them, it's just a lot of these smart TVs are not necessarily the most powerful ones. They're kind of slow, kind of sluggish. So what if Google actually makes a smart TV better by actually bringing more powerful hardware to the dongle? That could be a good idea, but we'll see. And speaking of the Apple TV, I mean, the company has made some dramatic changes lately where they've separated music and movies from iTunes and had the Apple TV app, which now works on, different TVs that are not necessarily the Apple TV hardware. And yeah, we've got iTunes and the whole Apple Music, which is not necessarily as popular as Spotify and everything. What we don't have is a way to bundle everything. If you do the math, it's not really cheap, and apparently that will finally change. 9to5Mac just found some new files on iOS 13.5.5's code that reference a bundle offer and a bundle subscription. The files are said to be related to the management system of Apple's own subscription services like Apple News Plus. We've heard rumors of this since 2018, and it looks like it might finally happen, merging Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple News Plus into the same bundle offering. Now the question is exactly how much should Apple price this for? Because if you do the math, I mean, Amazon Prime is very inexpensive. Other competing services are as well, but Apple has assets that a lot of these services don't have. So I think it would make a lot of sense if they charge, I don't know, $15. Currently the whole combination would be $25. Doesn't make sense at all. We'll see what happens. And how about if we talk about that possible successor to the Moto RAZR? If you remember, historically, the original Moto RAZR V3 wasn't really an amazing phone. There were actually better phones at the time, like the V635, which is what I chose over the V3 until the V3i came around, with more enhancements like Bluetooth back in the day, expandable storage and stuff. So apparently that's going to be the same case with this RAZR, as it's not just going to be a hardware refresh. Probably. According to a display supply chain consultant CEO, both of the RAZR's displays will grow in size. He didn't specify on the outer display, but apparently the main display will adopt the same size of the Galaxy Z Flip, meaning a 6.7-inch diagonal display, which is half an inch larger than the current RAZR. Other leaked specifications include a Qualcomm Snapdragon 765G, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, Android 10 out of the box, wow, and a 48 megapixel camera that should be better, even if Motorola has never been famous about that. Rumors hint to a September launch. We'll see what happens. And guys, before we get to the hottest news today, in addition to today's question, here's a word from today's sponsor, MediaTek. Did you know that its technology powers the Amazon Echo Dot? This is Amazon's most popular smart speaker, which fits perfectly in small places and brings improved speaker quality. Ask Alexa to stream songs from Amazon Music, Spotify, SiriusXM, and others. You can also set alarms, control your smart home, and more. It includes MediaTek's far-field communication technology, so you can whisper to it from a distance. You can currently find it for $29.99 on Amazon in the first link in the description, and in the second one you can learn more about why brands like Amazon trust MediaTek. Thank you for sponsoring this video. And finally, the hottest news today have to do with iPhones. And at this point, we don't know exactly what iPhones we're talking about, mainly because we're so far away from the iPhone 12, and rumors hint that we're already talking about the iPhone 13, but then you know that at this stage, anything can happen, so let me just try to summarize it the best I can, because first we started talking about portless iPhones because Apple was going to keep Lightning another year. Now we don't know what to tell you. Like for example, back on Monday, we got some dummy units of the iPhone 12, which look kind of sketchy since they're pretty much a showcase of a footprint and that's it. The design doesn't really change. Now we have some possible iPhone 13 dummies that are from the same source. Thing about it is, we know Apple is notorious for prototyping. We recently got leaks that hinted to a portless iPhone, for example. Now these new leaks don't follow on that, and we should take them with a grain of salt because of course the timeline is kind of crazy, but these show a notchless iPhone coming, which also brings a USB-C port and a weird camera array that doesn't really tell us anything about the cameras. And speaking of notchless display, a new Digitimes report claims that Apple supply chain partners are developing OLED displays with LTPO backplane technology for the 2021 iPhones. LTPO is the technology that allows for a more power-efficient display, paving the way to better battery life in addition to ProMotion, which we're expecting on upcoming iPhones. Now, most of the leaks we've covered from reliable sources hint to the 2020 iPhones bringing ProMotion, but other sources claim that LTPO is essential for this to happen and that it won't happen until 2021. I know, it's a mess, but here's the problem. Apple is so notorious for prototyping. If you remember back in history, we spent a lot of time dealing with rumors of the iPhone 6's design at the time of the iPhone 5, and it took a while for that design to come to fruition. So think about it as, let's not go crazy. In today's question, there's a poll at the community tab that asks you, if you had to pick Lightning, USB-C, or portless, what do you want on your next iPhone? Because I think that would probably be one of the most major changes. In my case, I'd prefer USB-C, I'm not gonna lie. But that's just me. Leave us a comment down below, we'd love to know your opinion. Friends, again, if you want to get the news earlier, follow us on Pocketnow.com and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Also follow us on social media so our extended coverage happens on Instagram. And follow me on my personal handles to see me stay at home and expect the aliens as well, or whatever. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you. Yeah, I remember that somebody made a comment of my t-shirt with aliens. What was it, yesterday or the day before? Fine. I'll hopefully see you tomorrow.